3, 4, 5, 6. There is some parallax in the scope that you can clearly see here. The targets are at 50 yards. Though there is no magnification on this scope, if you're not 100% lined up, it will skew your image. Not only was it very bright when I filmed this, but the camera is also facing direct sunlight. In person, the illumination is a lot brighter than it seems on camera. It's going to be hard to notice, but you're about to see red streaking come through the lens. I believe it's a result from the coating that they put on the front glass. I wanted to signify how dark the first 4 settings are, which are night vision 1, night vision 2, 1 and 2, and then off. The rest, 3, 4, 5, and 6, are daylight bright. Night vision 1, night vision 2, 1, 2, off. 3, 4, 5, 6, maximum brightness. Pew pew! Pew pew! Pew pew! Pew, pew. 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 Pew, pew, pew. The current distance from the optic to the camera is about average for a carbine. I decided to mount it a little bit farther up as a scout setup to see what the field of view would look like. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. I would like to start out by saying, first again, thank you, Sparks, for sending this in for review. I've been looking to get one of these for quite some time, and I was very happy that you sent yours in. Primarily because if I had spent money on this, I wouldn't be able to properly use it. And the reason for that is my astigmatism. There are only two sort of issues that I have with it. The first being at 6, with my astigmatism, the reticle, which is usually a 2 MOA dot, at least quadruples. It takes up a full mini IPSC target at 50 yards, and it's horrible. And I really wish I didn't have an astigmatism, because if I didn't, it would be crystal clear like it is at 5, 4, and 3. But if you have an astigmatism, you really got to pay attention to this, because at its maximum brightness, it's going to be horrible. It's going to bloom. And I've had numerous people, several people at the range, my wife, a couple of other friends look through this, and they had the same issue. Now, keep in mind, they all wear corrective lenses as well, or at least don't have perfect vision, but it's still something to take into consideration. The next thing is there is a minor amount of parallax in this, which I tried to showcase as best as I could. And it's not terrible, but it's there. But I didn't notice that it threw off my point of impact too bad when I was using it, but it's still there. Keep that in mind. I was looking at buying one of these used a couple of months ago, and you could find them for about $350 and up. If you wanted to buy one of these brand new, they start at around $450 and go up. And the reason for that is right there. Made in the USA. And it got a couple of really nice features that I love about it. And that's primarily one of the reasons why I wanted to get one for myself. The first thing I was a little skeptical about was when you're looking at this thing from a top view or a side view, or any view really other than from the rear, is how much larger the front diameter is to the back. I was worried that when you're looking through this, it would really be noticeable, but when you get behind it, it's really not too bad. I was also worried about how large the illumination knob is, but again, once you get behind it, it's at 12 o'clock position. It's really not in the way. I'm more frustrated by the windage adjustment, which sticks out the side like a big wart, but at least it looks good. Trijicon opted to have no covers on the windage or the elevation adjustments, and I can see why. They want to make it as sleek as possible. I guess they don't care too much about getting any dirt or debris inside there. One of the best things about this is all the different mounts you can get for it. You can buy them on Amazon from Trijicon, or you can buy some of these, which again I'm going to mispronounce, Scalarworks. They sell tons of different mounts for any solution that you're looking for to mount it on basically any platform. This is a huge selling point, and it's only 4 little screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. This base comes off, and you can put anything you want on that. It's really, really nice. This is, of course, a red dot model. It's a 2 MOA dot. They do offer green, and they do offer a EOTech style reticle with, I believe, a 65 MOA circle. Don't quote me, but those are a little bit more expensive than this one is. Battery life on this, Trijicon claims at power level 3, which is that one, which if we were to cycle to right now, I don't even think you'd be able to see. But yeah, you can't even see it. You see 4. It's also not focused, but 3 is pretty dim. You can't really see it during the day. During twilight and afterwards, it's okay. But they claim 5 years continuous use at level 3. However, if you bump it up to 6, which is like looking at the sun, it's only rated for about 600 hours continuous use. Whereas if this is a green dot version, I think that number is considerably less. So that's one thing to take into account for when you want to buy a red or a green dot, is battery life. There is a good amount of tint to this, as you've seen in the video. Trijicon uses the tint on the glass to better illustrate the dot, so they don't have to run as much power to the laser and thus illuminate it. However, on the front, you can see it is a big, bright, red look at me target, and it is noticeable. You can't really miss it. I did not notice any sort of kickback like I did with the Romeo 5, so that's a good thing, because I didn't care for that too much on the Romeo 5. However, this better be better than the Romeo 5, considering it's 4 times the price, and that's a fair amount of money. But again, it's made in the USA. It's, I'm sure, military and police tested. I don't doubt that this is going to be phenomenal for Sparks for the rest of his life, or until he decides to sell it. Would I buy one of these? I absolutely would, because I do like things that are made in the USA. I'm a huge supporter of that. I just can't run this effectively enough. 5 is good enough for most daylight situations, but if I can't get the full benefit of something, I don't want it. And for me, if I wanted to run this at 6, I can't. It's completely useless. If I was running night vision, however, I would, of course, use it, because I would have basically 4 levels of night vision. But I don't run night vision on any of my firearms. I don't think I ever will. I hope I never need to. I'll put it to you like that. It would be fun, but it's not something that's going to be a make or break deal for me. However, if that's important to you, this would be a cool option, I think. You could mount it literally on any gun. It's pretty small. I would say it's roughly the same size as the Romeo 5. I don't have that anymore to compare against, which is foolish of me. But I have, what do I have on the shelf? I have a Strikefire 2, which, as you can see the size difference there, it's a huge one. It's roughly twice the size. So if that doesn't put that into perspective for most people, I don't know what will. It's not that big. I would love to not have an astigmatism so I could run this at its full potential and use this. This would be great on my Ruger PCC. If you're looking for an American-made reflex, incredible overall build quality, look no further. This is a great little red dot. Thank you very much for watching.